Okay, we're going to talk about the lab we did today in class. Is block 10 lab resistance, examples of wires and two 1.5 volt batteries and a light bulb to see if we can tell or prove resistance. So there's your materials, your procedures, what we go through, and the basic chart that has to be filled out. Now today I'll show you a couple of the other students' charts for you, but you do have to fill out the last 3 questions on your end. Okay. We have Gavin and Tom worked on this project. We have different length wires laid out. We have a battery pack, we have a light bulb. We're going to use the 2 green wires, one's about 1 foot long, the other one's about 3 feet long. We prove resistance. So see what they got, guys, plug it in. This is a short wire. Let's see what the bulb looks like. Bulb, you see, you can't get a good view of it, but it's pretty bright. Now we're going to switch it up to the longer wire, the 3-foot wire.
A little bit dimmer.
Not quite as bright. I know on here you can't see all of it, but it was just a little bit dimmer. And they did a resistance reading with the ohm meter. It's not as accurate as we'd like it to be, but it showed some variance. What did you guys see?
About 0.4 for the short green wire and 0.5 for the longer
Okay,
one.
so we had a little bit difference in the length of the wire, the resistance showed. We had some other wires we did too. On the short ones, we had a black one, which was a heavy wire. The bare copper is a medium, and a real thin, it's a varnish coated copper for the small one. And we put a blue nichrome in there just to compare. And what did you guys find on these wires when you tested it?
For the black thicker wire, it was brighter.
We'll give you a shot of this so you guys can see it a little bit. So it was,
And for the black thicker wire, it was brighter than the red wire.
so we're getting a little bit bright, less resistance in the thicker wire, making the bulb a little brighter. You show a little bit variation in your ohm meter reading. We may need to try a different ohm meter and come back and add to this. But this gives you some good information on here that you could do your lab with. I know if you're at home, you can't do this live, but you can always, at some point, we can do it next year. If school gets back to normal, any of these labs, we'll reproduce them in the upper level classes. So it was a good lab just to see, explain some of the tables we've been working on. All right, and there's Gavin and there's Tom. They're glad to bring this presentation to you today.